Deal with recruiting here. The recruiting dead period now over. So LSU will have visitors on campus again this week. However, got some really good news over the weekend on Saturday pertaining to the 2024 class. So we know, obviously, the run that they went on to start July with the 2023 class, getting 9 commits in 12 days, the first 12 days of July. They add Tayvion Galloway, a tight end for the class of 2024 on Saturday. In his announcement, I mentioned that he had been silently committed to LSU since the 17th of this month and was excited to make it public. Huge tight end, man. 6'5", 230, 80th ranked player in the country for 2024, according to the 247 Sports. The number 4 ranked tight end, a 4-star kid out of Ohio. I think it's always interesting, obviously, especially right now when LSU gets a tight end commitment, because it's just a place they are incredibly, incredibly thin on this team. You have one in the current class of 2023, Markway, and then you have Tayvion Galloway now in 2024. That's one, but I would expect plenty more, maybe even in this class and potentially, definitely in 2024, because you're just incredibly thin there if you're LSU.
100%, and hopefully it's these guys with big bodies. I mean, 6'5", 230, really good receiving threat as well. I think it's important for LSU to get tight ends that can do a lot, not just block, not just catch, and Galloway definitely fits that bill. 4 stars, you got him over Arkansas, you got him over Auburn, so that's always fun. Like you said, a position of need, and that's a big get for LSU. That being said, I'm curious to see what the tight ends this season can't do. I think we've talked about it briefly before, but I could see a big year for Cole Taylor this year with Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly likes to feature his tight ends. He's had some moments sparingly throughout LSU, and he's maybe need to beef up a little bit and work on his blocking skills, but I could see Cole Taylor have a big year. Hopefully Tayvion Galloway has some big years for LSU in the future as well.
That's something that Brian Kelly talked about after the spring game. Was Cole Taylor said he thought he had a great day, obviously in Tiger Stadium for the spring game, but live in the weight room was the phrase he used. He needs to live in the weight room, and if he does that, then they could have something there at tight end. But you just still need more bodies. I mean, you have Taylor, you have Mashburn, Jack Mashburn was a blocking tight end for you last year, but really he was a walk-on quarterback who played very, very well, just a natural athlete type guy. And you have the freshman Mason Taylor, of course, but that's just 3 guys. First of all, you can't afford injuries there, and you really need somebody to take the step forward. Could that be Cole Taylor? Sure. You mentioned moments throughout the career. I think back to the long touchdown reception he had against Mississippi State last year in Starkville. So there's definitely been the flashes there, but you have to take hold there because the depth is not present, and really the production hasn't been either.
No, and under Brian Kelly, I'm sure that is going to change. Right now, they're a little thin, but tight ends have been something that's featured big time in his offenses. I remember I was thinking about the bowl game randomly the other day against LSU in 2017, and the tight end for Notre Dame had a big game on that day as well. So this is a position that's going to improve, but slowly but surely. BK just needs to keep doing what he's been doing on the recruiting trail, and eventually those numbers will rise.
So Tayvion Galloway commits to LSU for the class of 2024. Long way to go in that one, obviously, but a huge get at a position of need early here for the Tigers in that cycle with the 6'5" tight end out of Ohio, 4-star, pledging on Saturday.